for rational exponents. So they want us to simplify expressions with rational exponents. Anytime you have a problem that looks like this, 260 raised to the 1/3 is what this one says, and this over here is this, because they're kind of hard to read. They don't have an x in it, they don't have y's in them, they have no variables in them, so we're just going to put them in our calculator. So 216 raised to the 1/3. What's 216 raised to the 3rd? 6 would be my answer. What is 7 raised to the half times 7 raised to the half? Huh? 7. Yep. Are we good with these? Y'all think y'all can do that? Can you put a fraction exponent in the calculator? That is my question. Does everybody understand how to do that? I could show you the mathematical way to do this by hand, but we are just going to use the calculators for this one part. Okay, so the next thing is something we talked about last time. I gave you this last time. Do you remember talking about this a little bit? So we're fixing to learn how to take a exponential form and put it into a radical form. Then we're going to learn how to take the radical form and put it into an exponential form. So you need to know this right here. It will make your life much easier if you do. A raised to the mn becomes the nth root of a raised to the m. You need to know where that n and that m go when you take it and put it into a radical form. So let's look at a problem. We're going to do 4 problems. The first one is x raised to the 3/7. They want me to take it. Right now it's in what form? Exponential. And we're going to put it in radical form. Well, I know, because I've memorized it now, that's how my forms are written. So if I'm following this over there, what is this going to look like when I put it into a radical form? What's going to go here? Correct. This is my radical form. Before we do that second one, let's do this one right here. So negative 2y raised to the 4/5. This is exponential form. I want to put it into radical form. Now here's the thing with one of these. If there is a number in front of your variable that holds the exponent, we're just going to copy it down over there. Okay? Because the only thing I'm worried about is whatever's got the exponent around it. So let's talk about this one. What is it going to become if I put it in exponential form? 5 y to the 4th. That would be my exponential form. My radical form. Sorry. So those are pretty easy just to switch between. You agree? Now we're fixing to add just a little bit harder one. So let's go back to this one now. So it says y raised to the negative 3.5. Well, obviously, all day long we've been dealing with fractions right here, correct? So we need to take that negative 3.5 and turn it into a fraction. How do I do that? Math enter. So what do I get? Negative 7/2. Now let's go back and think about our exponent rules from the other day, because they're important. What can I not have? A negative exponent. How do I make that negative exponent positive? Put it on the bottom. So now it becomes something that looks like this. Now I'm still in exponential form, correct? I still haven't even converted to radical form yet. That's my next step. I'm just getting the exponent to where I can actually deal with it. So what is my radical form of y equal y raised to the 7 over 2? Can I reduce this radical? If I were to rewrite it and look like this, can it be reduced? Yes. Pair them up. That's 2, and that's 2. So I'm looking at y over y cubed, square root of y. Is that right? Because that's a y, that's a y, and that's a y. So that becomes y cubed. And that's what I got left over, so it stays in there. Now, let's go back to 6-3 for just a second. Yes? What can I not have in the denominator of a fraction? A square root. What do I have to do to get rid of that? We need to take it and rationalize the denominator. Correct? So, I want to get rid of this square root. What do I have to times it by over here to get rid of it? Itself. I'm also going to times the top by the same thing too. So 1 times the square root of y gives me square root of y. Now I've got the I've got y cubed. There's an understood 1 in front of that. So y cubed times 1 gives me y cubed. And what's the square root of y times the square root of y? Y. Can I combine what's on bottom? So I have y cubed times y raised to the 1, more or less. If I am multiplying exponents, what do I do to them? So 3 plus 1 is, and that's my answer. Okay, let's do one more like this. Let's do d raised to the negative 3 over 2. D raised to the negative 3 over 2. So it's a negative exponent. What do I have to do to make it positive? Put it on the bottom. Now I need to take it and put it into radical form. What's my radical going to read? So that's going to be my 2. That's going to be my n. D to the 3rd. Can I reduce this at all? Well, let's look at it and see. If this is my root, I know I can take 2 out. So it becomes 1 over d square root of d. Am I done? What do I have to do? Rationalize the denominator. So what am I going to multiply by? Square root of d. So I get the square root of d over d times d, because I have a d on the outside, and then the square root of d times the square root of d gives me d. So the square root of d over d squared. Rationalizing the denominator.